Okay, so this is question number, let's see, number 8. And what we're going to do is do just distance formulas. Okay, and so I've already drawn out the distance formula, and I'm going to put it at each of the 3 sides so that I can calculate how long each of those sides is. Okay, so here we go. I know that you can't do that on your test, but it helped me. So anyway, I'm going to do my x's, 5 minus 10 and 5 minus 15. 5 minus 10 is negative 5, which when quantity is squared is 25. And 5 minus 15 is negative 10, which when you square that is 100. And so that ends up being the square root of 125. All right, next one. 15 minus 10, those are the 2 x's, and 5 minus 15. All right, that's a 10. I don't know if you can tell. 1, 0. 15 minus 10 is 5, which when you square that quantity is 25, plus 5 minus 15 is negative 10. When you square that quantity, it's 100. So this is the square root of 125. Okay, and moving on. So you already know this side and this side are the same. The last one, you'll see the x's 5 and 15, and the y's 5 and 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 minus 15 is negative 10, which when you square that quantity is 100, plus 0. That's the square root of 100. Okay, so I've got these 3 side lengths, and remember that we use the idea that a squared plus b squared and c squared as a comparison are extremely useful. You just have to put them in order from least to greatest, so that c ends up being the very largest one. And this one is kind of an interesting one because plus you've got square root of 125 twice. But if you just go in order from least to greatest, it's okay. One of the 125s ends up on the left and one ends up on the right. So that ends up being 100 plus 125. You're comparing to 125. Okay, so 225. How does that compare to 125? 225 is bigger than 125. And remember, the question is, do I have an enormously long candidate for hypothesis? Hypotenuse. And the answer is no. My C is still smaller than the other 2 combined, which means there's not one big obtuse angle. Okay, they weren't equal. A squared plus b squared didn't equal c squared, so we didn't have a right triangle. H is sort of a throwaway for all of these. Okay, so it's definitely an acute triangle. And then we looked, we had 2 sides that were the same, and it was 2 and only 2. So it was not scalene, equilateral, or equiangular. So your answer is B and F. That is isosceles and acute.